Don't worry, I am here to help. I am here to give you the TLDR of what the new gearing upgrade system in Season 2 will be. That's because Blizzard, in the many news that we received in these past couple of days about 10.1, they did release a Q&A, an explanation on how the gearing system will work. However, it is quite the convoluted post, it is quite complex and sort of confusing how the whole system will work. It's even more confusing because Blizzard, in their examples, they are using Season 2 item levels, so you are kind of getting confused about all of these 424, 436, 442 item level talks in their examples. So we are here today to get a much more abridged and simpler to understand version on how the gearing system will work in Season 2. Let's start with a very quick and easy description of the 5 different item brackets you will have in Season 2. These are just gonna be like your, raid finder, normal, heroic, mythic type of item bracket you will see on a tooltip of an item. You have Explorer, Adventurer, Veteran, Champion, and Hero. These are going to be looted at those specific item levels. As you can see, for example, the Hero item level bracket is Heroic, the Champion item level bracket is through Normal, the Veteran one is through LFR, and then Adventurer is basically open world world quest type of stuff, and Explorer is basically just casual, even lower than world quest level. You can also see very clearly how high they can be upgraded. Much more easy to understand now that we are using current season item level. You can see that Hero can be upgraded all the way up to Mythic item level. Champion can be upgraded to one tier below, 411. You have Veteran, which can be upgraded all the way up to the top of normal item level. And then Adventurer is LFR. Those are the new type of item brackets you will have in Season 2. Depending on the item level you are looting it in, it's going to get its type attached to. So for example, if you are doing some world quest and you loot a 379 item level piece of gear, that's gonna be a veteran piece. And as a veteran piece, it can be upgraded all the way up to 398. That's how the system is gonna work. Each and every one of these item types, with the exception of the Hero type of gear, can be upgraded 7 times. It will have, much similar to the VALOR system, it will have 7 upgrade levels. It will start at 1 out of 8 levels at the lowest item level, and then you can bring it all the way up to 8 out of 8. Spending the new Season 2 currencies. Now, talking about the new Season 2 currencies, they're going to be split between Flightstones and Crests. The simplest way to describe these two, it's like Elemental Overflow and Storm Sigils right now in this season. The Flightstones are like Elemental Overflow. You're going to be looting them in the hundreds. They're going to come from all sorts of content, from world quest to open world event to weekly quests and all that sort of stuff. And then you have the Storm Sigils equivalent, the Crests, which are much more rare, much more scarce. It will take you longer to obtain these currencies. To make it simpler to understand, we have color graded these 4 different crests to match their item type. You have the green one, the first tier of crest, the Whelplings one, which is needed for items looted between 376 and 385 item level, which is the blue type of gear, the veteran type of gear. Then you have the Drake's Shadowflame crest, which is needed for the item types looted between 389 and 398, which is the Champion's type of gear. And then you have the Worm's Shadowflame crest, which is needed for the items between 402 to 411 item level, which is the Hero type of gear. The last one, the Aspect's Shadowflame crest, is the special one. It's the one that you will only need for the last bit of upgrade to turn your 411 piece of gear into a 415 piece of gear. These are the 4 types of crests you will be needing to upgrade your items. Now, to also make it simpler to understand, these are the brackets in which the crests will be needed. The green crest, you will start using it all throughout the Adventurer tier, and you will stop using the green crest halfway through the Veteran gear. As you can see, Adventurer reads upgraded all the way up to 385. And as you can see, Veteran base item level goes all the way up to 385. Your green crest will go all the way up to the max item level of Veteran. And then you have the blue crest. The blue crest starts at Veteran and is going to end at the max item level of Champion. The blue crest, the Drake's Shadowflame crest, stops at 398 item level, which is the max of the Champion gear. And then you have your purple crest, your Worm's Shadowflame crest. You will start using the purple crest at Champion, and you will stop using the purple crest to upgrade your item all the way up to the max base item level of your hero gear, which is 411. And as we already pointed out, your last crest, your special last crest, your Aspect's Shadowflame crest, is only needed for the last bit of upgrade to get to 415. So the current base mythic rating level quality gear. That is how the crests are going to be used to upgrade the different item types. Now, some specifications. Specification number 1, these type of items can only be upgraded up to the maximum of the item type you looted it in. So, if you loot an item at Veteran level, you will only ever be able to max it at the maximum upgrade level of Veteran, which is 398. You can't go higher than that. For example, let's just say you're doing normal Vault of the Incarnates and you loot your Whispering Incarnate icon, Best in Slot trinket. You still can only bring it all the way up to 411. You cannot bring it to 415 because the Whispering Incarnate icon you looted became a champion item, and a champion item can only go all the way up to 411, not to 415. So the items in Season 2 are going to be locked to the item type you looted it in, the 5 different types, from Explorer all the way up to Hero. What you might realize from this, and if you haven't, I'll tell you, the new important thing in Season 2 is that now this is going to make all heroic gear be able to be upgraded all the way up to mythic rating quality. Because as you can see from the Hero bracket of gear, it starts at 402, which is the starting item level of heroic, and can be upgraded all the way up to 415, which means now all heroic rating gear can be turned into a base 415 mythic rating gear. We have been perhaps a bit worried about the place of heroic rating in gearing up due to how much more powerful the gear from Mythic Plus has become, and even the gear from crafting has become over time, which has shrunk the importance of getting loot from heroic. But with this new system in Season 2, you will now have a much larger possible use out of your heroic raiding gear. Other important bits of information are that the crests can come either in full, so a single full crest, or in fragments, which makes sense. You might be defeating a mythic raid boss and get a full crest, or you might be defeating a normal raid boss and get only a few fragments that you will then need to combine to form a crest. Also important to point out that crafted gear, PvP gear, and of course all mythic raiding gear above 415 item level cannot be upgraded. What is also important is that Primal Focus and Concentrated Primal Focus, and then Primal Infusions and Concentrated Primal Infusions and all that stuff we have in Season 1 will go away. Instead, now it's the crests that will take the place of the Primal Focus. So now you will be needing to use the crests in your crafted gear to craft the high item level items. Now we have another question about the limits, the capping, the time gating, something that has been quite pointed out multiple times when it came to VALOR and VALOR being gated. So here the limit is 10 crests per week of every single type. So 10 per the 4 different types. Considering you need 7 crests to upgrade fully one item, and that you need 4 crests to fully upgrade one item from 402 to 415, this is more or less the equivalent of allowing you to upgrade 2 items from heroic or from mythic, mythic plus max level to mythic rating quality every week. A full upgrade from 402 to 415 twice per week. And this is cumulative. So the first week you can get up to 10, the second week up to 20, the third week up to 30, the fourth week up to 40. So if the first week you only got 7 crests out of 10, the second week you have 13 crests available because now the cap is up to 20. The last bit of information, which is pretty good for alts, is that now there is going to be an account-wide 50% discount in the amount of flight stones needed to upgrade any item which has a lower item level than what any of your character has in that slot. So if your main has a bunch of 418 boots, it means that every single alt that you have that wants to upgrade the boots will have a 50% discount on flight stones. This is going to be particularly good even for your own main for things like rings and trinkets. Your main loots a trinket from mythic rating. Now, basically, every single other trinket you want to upgrade will have a 50% flight stone discount because you already have a trinket of a higher item level. Overall, with this TLDR being done with, because we have checked pretty much everything worth mentioning, it seems like a massive win, in particularly thanks to the more value given to heroic gear, giving much more of a reward for players who for example, continue to do heroic raiding, or maybe just do heroic raiding, and give them an avenue to continue to upgrade their items all the way up to 415. Perhaps the only slight complaint might be about the fact that now you can no longer go all the way down to a +2 or a +4 in Mythic Plus to farm one of your best in slot trinkets. Because if you go down to that level, then the item you will loot will be a veteran level item or a champion level item, which means you won't be able to upgrade them all the way up to 415, because they will be locked in their previous tier of item and won't be able to be upgraded to the current level of mythic rating, like you can right now with VALOR. That is perhaps the only main complaint with this new system. But beyond that, with this TLDR being done with, it looks like it's a massive improvement compared to before. We are getting rid of a few of the complaints we have gotten before, like capping the VALOR, making it feel quite annoying, the problems with the crafting and the primal focus, especially with your alts, is going to be made much easier to go through. We have still, of course, yet to see the details about this, but for now, this was the TLDR on the new upgrade system for the gear in Season 2. So, with this out of the way, we're going to leave each other on this Friday as we wait to collect more news for 10.1, which we will then be having as more videos in the future. For now, I'm going to leave you the rest of the start of your weekend. We are starting by thanking all of my Patreon supporters for the contribution and the help to the growth of this channel. You can still support for free, of course. Liking and commenting down below, as well as subscribing to the channel itself, are good enough ways to show your support, including also things like following me over on Twitter, as well as following me over on my stream on Twitch. So, with these things out of the way, thank you guys again for watching. See you guys soon, and in the meantime, okay, time to go. I have to drink since like 2 hours ago. Jesus, my throat.